4,000. Take a minute and let that number sink in. That is approximately the number of teenagers in the US that will get pregnant this year, according to Natalie Blayton in her 2019 article titled Why Sex Education in the United States Needs an Update and How to Do It. I'll be educating you guys about the importance of sex education in our public high schools across the country, or rather the lack of it. I believe that this is a very important topic that everyone needs to be educated on, because after it is our own bodies. My high school actually did a very in-depth sex education class. It went for almost 2 full weeks, and we learned everything that I'll be talking about today. I can now actually say that I know 4 girls from my high school who are all mothers. I'll be informing you guys about the many different types of birth control options, the current form of sex education across the country, and teen pregnancy rates in and around the Bible Belt. The first thing I want to talk to you guys about is the different types of birth control options there are. There are many different types. An article written by the Mayo Clinic in February of 2020 titled Birth Control Options, Things to Consider, lists every type of option there is available right now and how they all work. These are included but are not limited to condoms, pills, the IUD, the depot shot, and many more. So I do want to show you guys how to put a condom on. I got my good old banana and my good old condom. You just open it, don't use your teeth or any sharp object like scissors, because that's what I was taught. And you just roll it on. Boom, you're good to go. So there is actually a facility here in Bozeman called Bridger Care, and they do give out free condoms too if you guys ever need those. And if you are under 20 years old, they do offer free birth control. So I know that when I do say birth control, you guys typically only think of women, but there are actually birth control options available for men now. An article titled Male Birth Control, Current Options and New Breakthroughs, written by Mandy M. in 2018, but was medically reviewed by Dr. Lindsay Hudson, speaks about the new pill that there is available for men currently. And it talks about how the shot and a gel form of birth control are still in the trial phases, but should be available pretty soon. Antibiotics do actually take away the effect of birth control also, so if you are on antibiotics for anything for like 7 days, then you don't have birth control for that 7 days that you're on it. So that's always something that you need to be keeping in mind. Also, pulling out is definitely not a form of birth control, just so you guys all know. And when you do actually practice oral sex, you are supposed to be using condoms or dental dams, whatever you guys are doing. So I want to show you guys all this slide. These are the different types of contraceptive methods. These are just some of them. This is not all of them. There's the condom, there's like the IUD, there's a diaphragm cap. You could go off the basic calendar and women would watch their period. But those are some of the basic ones. So these few forms of birth control that I just explained to all of you guys would be a really good thing if they were taught in all sex education classes across the country. So there are 3 main types of sex education courses, and they were all explained in Natalie Blayton's article. The first one that I'll be talking about is titled Abstinence Only, and it only promotes abstinence. You don't learn about anything else except abstinence. The second one is titled Abstinence Plus, and once again, it really encourages abstinence, but you are informed about the different types of contraceptive methods. And the third one, and this is the one that I was taught, is comprehensive curricula, and this includes a variety of topics including sexual relations, contraceptives, anatomy for both men and women, and consent. And this also includes STDs and STIs, and some of the most common STIs are chlamydia and gonorrhea. Only 13 states out of the 50 require medically correct information about intercourse. So this means that legally states are allowed to inform you guys about intercourse, but they can lie about the whole thing, and they will completely get away with it. There are 6 states that do not require any sort of sex education whatsoever, which is berserk. Comprehensive sex education is really the most important one to teach your students. This may be a super awkward subject for you to be having with your students or your children, but you would rather your students or children be coming to you with questions, and you'd rather them be obtaining accurate information instead of them trying to Google their answers for all their sexual education questions. When kids are taught with this method, it helps delay sexual intercourse, it increases the probability of condoms and contraceptive use, and it reduces the total number of sexual partners that they will have in their lifetime. Teaching sex education becomes a very taboo thing around the southern states. So when I say southern states, I'm talking about the Bible Belt. The Bible Belt consists of 15 complete states and just parts of 3 other states. It ranges from New Mexico, Texas area, and it goes all the way up to North Carolina, Virginia area. And I say this because there's a large part of the U.S. population in that general area. Texas alone has 29 million people living in it. A study completed by Charlotta Melander, but the article was written by Richard Florida in 2012, titled "Teen Births Follow the Same Fault Lines of Religion, Politics, and Class That Divides Americans," shows that the teen birth rates remain highest in highly religious and conservative states, and once again, the Bible Belt is highly religious and very conservative states. So I do want to tell you about one of my friends who is from North Carolina. When I spoke to her that I was going to be using this topic as my speech topic, she told me about her sex education course when she was in high school, which lasted all about 20 minutes. The way that she was informed was, think of it when you go shoe shopping. You want to be the new, clean, unused shoe. You don't want to be the dirty, used up shoe. Be the clean, new shoe. So I want to show you guys all this slide. This is the Bible Belt that I'm talking about, and I don't know how well you guys can see this, but the darker colors represent a higher amount of teen pregnancy, and the lighter colors are like a lesser teen pregnancy. If you look, you can see that Texas, New Mexico, that is a very heavily dense teen pregnancy rates in that area. So I hope after explaining all of this to you, everyone can agree that our current sex education course needs an update around the country. I hope you all learned a little bit about different birth control options, the current sex education system, and the correlation between religion and teen pregnancy rates. I'm pretty optimistic that everyone now knows why this is a super important topic that definitely should not be skipped in high school. There are high schools around the country that are sending their graduates into the world without knowing how to even put a condom on. If schools across the nation all taught with a uniform, comprehensive curriculum, then the teen pregnancy rate would drop. Thank you.